We're going to be looking at a cool gun today. This is a Walther P38. This is a post-war model with the aluminum frame, and I've put on some 1990s era white dot sights and some nice walnut grips. And this is a great gun. They're very inexpensive. You can get these for about $350 to $400, and they shoot 9mm, 8-round single stack magazines, and the mags are pretty plentiful. So let's get on some ears and eyes and let's shoot this. I reload 9mm specifically for the Walther P38, just so I know I can keep pressures low. It's just enough power to cycle the slide reliably. It's just a 115 grain plated lead bullet and a light charge of tight group in mixed brass. And it's reasonably accurate. I'm here at 20 yards and I can hit the plate pretty reliably. That's another thing. Heel mag release. It's second nature to me because I shoot this so often. But you just hit with your thumb and it pulls out. It's pretty fast. And then there's a slide release here on the side. Perfect example of a typical Walther malfunction. It's these magazines. These are real Walther P38 magazines, but they have a tendency to nosedive the bullets right into the feed ramp. Here's an important thing to know if you're a new shooter, is bullet setback. Now, I had a jam with my Walther P38 where it jammed this bullet into the feed ramp, and that pushed back the bullet into the case. Now you can see this bullet right here is seated now about 1/8 of an inch lower than this bullet. Now if I fire this, it'll probably fire okay, but the pressure is going to be far, far higher than this bullet. So I'm going to keep this one out and disassemble it and rebuild it next time I reload. But just something to watch for if you get jams like that where the bullet is pushed against the feed ramp. Check to make sure the bullet isn't seated too far in the case. Pretty cool. On the P38, you do have a loaded chamber indicator back here next to the hammer, and you also have a decocker, which is activated with this lever here. Safely drops the hammer, and that way you can carry the P38 with the safety off, but you have a very long, heavy double action trigger pull so that you don't have any accidental discharges. It seems to like just a center hold. I have a big white dot front sight. It's a number 3 sight for those of you who want to know which kind. And this center target, it's pretty reliable too. Yeah, it's a cool little gun. For $400, it's definitely worth getting. We got this loaded up. We're in double action. One thing I notice is there's a lot more muzzle rise with this than you'd think there would be. Even though this is a 9mm, since there's not a lot of mass out in the front of the gun, it doesn't have the balance of like a Glock or a VP9, is what I've been shooting lately. It does have has a very different feel to it that you have to get used to. It's a cool gun. Beautiful, iconic design. The biggest pet peeve I have about the P-38 is that it ejects brass right back in your face. It's really annoying, and it's the only pistol they have that does it. There it is. What's really great about the post-war P-38s is you can shoot these and not feel bad about wearing out your grandpa's or your uncle's war trophy from World War II. The old World War II P-38s, steel frame guns, they're really cool. They make great shooters, but if you're not really up to date on your maintenance and taking care of them with low pressure ammo, you're going to wear them out and decrease the value. Whereas something like this is pretty cheap, $300 to $400, and it's just as accurate. Got the same look, same feel. It's even a little bit lighter. Some people might consider carrying this as a concealed weapon or an open carry piece, and you know, it could work for that. It's by modern standards, it's low capacity, 8+1, and it's probably not going to be too happy with hollow points, but I could see it. It's still a viable weapon, and I'm back here at 25 yards hitting this gong pretty consistently. So I'd say in the accuracy department, it's just fine. "25 yards, and that's a 12-inch gong, so I'd say that's pretty good accuracy. I had a pretty significant malfunction with this. P-38s have a tendency to pop the top cover up here, and without warning, generally, you'll be firing, and this piece of sheet metal that's held in with little spring fingers inside, it'll pop back and hit you right in the eye. And you'll lose your rear sight, and you usually lose a couple other springs and stuff. But yeah, lucky I was wearing safety glasses that day. This little springy thing came back and hit me in the eyebrow. I still shoot it. It's a fun gun, even though if it hurts you, it's still fun. But yeah, I put on these later sights. These sights are from the 1990s, so if you find 80s or 90s dated Walther P1s, they'll probably have these white dot sights. This model also doesn't have the beefed up frame or slide. This is the original skinny slide, and there's no cross pin to prevent cracking. So it's an old gun. It's not worth too much, but it's still a fun shooter, and with low pressure ammo, I should be shooting this for quite a while. The post-war P-38 really preserves the classic look of the World War II P-38, but you don't have the guilt of potentially lowering the value of a collector's item. But I thank you for watching, and consider subscribing.
All these factors must be considered as we plan for the survival of our homes, our families, and our nation in the nuclear age.